and welcome to GoodGood Investing. I am Rachel Grunn.
And I'm Andrea Cwik.
What is GoodGood Investing all about, Andrea?
GoodGood Investing is a podcast and a YouTube channel about passively investing in multifamily investments. Rachel and I are partners in multifamily investing. We buy large apartment buildings that people might think are $5 million, but they're like $20 million. And we make it accessible to investors. Of course, it's not for everyone. There's qualification process that you have to go through, but it is definitely a way that we love investing.
Especially for busy professionals. You got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. No one wants to deal with tenants, termites, and toilets.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
So we help busy professionals and successful entrepreneurs get wealthy in passive investing.
Yeah. And today we're going to be talking all about what it looks like to actually invest and kind of a step-by-step guideline of what you can expect once you're like, you know what, Rachel and Andrea, we've had the call. I'm interested. You know, Andrea and I feel like it's a good fit for you. And we have an opportunity that you're like, yeah, that's the one.
That's the one.
What happens? What do you do?
Yeah. So one, we're going to send you opportunities after our call, obviously.
After our call.
Yeah. We're going to send you opportunities. You are going to get invited to a webinar. These opportunities come maybe once a few months or so, once a month.
We usually have always one going on.
Yeah, one going on. So you will get an email. The email will tell you this is our new offering. The offering will give you all of the returns. It'll describe the market that it sits in, the city it sits in, the area it sits in. It also is going to tell you all about the property, so you'll know how many apartment buildings are in there. It'll tell you what other things? Returns, doors, market.
Kind of an over, like a high level view of our business plan.
Yeah, business plan. And then you'll get invited to a webinar. The webinar is going to be a deep dive into financials. All right, so let's break down to population, annual salary in the area, what
job growth,
what jobs are actually in that market,
why we think we can push rents based on comparable properties that have sold.
Yeah, business strategy, how we're going to add value. It'll give you financial returns, projected returns. So you'll get that webinar.
We'll even get into debt structure. Like, it's pretty granular, this webinar.
Yeah.
And if you attend it live, you actually get the opportunity for Q&A at the end.
Yes, which is very helpful for a lot of people.
Super helpful.
Okay, so now you've said, okay, I want to invest into this property.
But wait, what if they miss the webinar? Do they just not get to invest in the deal?
You get an email with a recording.
Yeah. So you can watch it or rewatch it if you did attend live and just kind of want to maybe show a family member.
Yeah. So then after this, and you said, okay, like I want in on this deal. What happens next? Well, then you sign up for our GoodGood Investing portal, different from our webpage. It's an investor portal. Where you'll see all of the documents about the property again. And then you'll also have the opportunity to look at something called the PPM documents,
which stands for Private Placement Memorandum. Now, this is the actual offering for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
The webinar is not the actual offering. Our email is not the actual offering. And also, we do advise people to do their own due diligence. Speak with your financial advisor, an attorney, your CPA, whoever you trust with financial decisions before deciding to invest. We've done our own due diligence on the property, right? And so we suggest that you do yours as well. And the private placement memorandum is going to lay out the structure of the entity. It's gonna be where you're gonna be able to type in your information about how you'd like to receive your returns by ACH or by check, and then also where you'll put your investment amount and how many units you're buying, not apartment units, but actually, like, each unit's $1,000. So if someone were to invest $100,000, they'd be buying 100 units. Not
shares.
Yeah, it's basically a share. A unit is essentially a share. So after reviewing the private placement memorandum, of course, if you ever have any questions on important legal documents, you should definitely ask as well.
Yeah. So once you go through all those documents, and it'll lay the ins and outs of the deal. So you'll get all of the risk, all the benefits. It's basically the legal document that commits you to investing into the deal. Once that's done, then you will get instructions for a wire. So the wire is going to go to a bank account specifically set up for the property. So there's an LLC and there's a bank account for the property, and that's what we're going to use to pay the bank, the down payment, and all of the remodel. But
yeah, that's important to note that every single property that we acquire, ourselves and our GP team create an entity specific to that property. So when you do wire funds, you're wiring it into that bank account that's specific for that property.
Exactly. Perfect. So then after that, then you'll get a congratulations email once we close.
Wait, but how long is the timeline from maybe starting to accept funds to closing?
Yeah, so typically, I think it's like 60 days, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit longer than you would expect for a residential closing.
Okay.
Because there's just so many documents and, legal stuff that we deal with, not our past investors.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it depends on when you came in on the deal. Sometimes you have to rush it if you came in late. If you're, early, sometimes we have this like white glove treatment too for our repeat investors where they get to preview the deal before we send it out to the rest of our investors. So when that happens, maybe you'll have like a 60-day time frame. Then you'll get that email that says, guess what? We're closed and we purchased the property. So congratulations to our investors and to our GP team when that happens. And then we're going to work on the back end to always maintain communication. So, once we close, we'll work on the back end to do all of the stuff that we need to with the loan, with everything, with getting the property turned over to the new property manager, if that's going to happen. And then you'll receive an email update after the first month with our progress.
Yeah, and we're going to do a whole podcast episode all about what to expect from close until the sale. Also important to note that during the 60-day closing period, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily going to be accepting investors for 60 days.
Right.
Because once the property is fully committed, we close the raise.
Yeah.
And we don't know, there's no way to project how long that'll be.
No, sometimes it happens in 2 weeks. Like we just don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good point.
Yeah, definitely. But again, the whole process is very transparent. We're super transparent with our underwriting, our financials. This is a huge investment and we don't take that lightly, and we expect for our investors to do their due diligence, and we support them in any due diligence they want to have done. So if there's any questions that anyone ever has, we're very transparent with our financials and our underwriting and any sort of pro forma that we put together.
Yeah, and just so our listeners remember, we only bring our investors deals that we ourselves would invest in, and also that have been vetted through so much analysis. There's like so much analysis that goes to getting these investments. But being a passive investor, you don't even have to ramp up on a ton of education like we've had to learn about how to analyze these deals. We've gone through it for you. Yeah. So that's important to note. And basically it takes like going through 100 different analysis on different properties to find the one that we bring forward to our investors. Yeah, we do. We
say no to so many because our investors are spoiled, and for good reason, right? Yeah. Exactly. We have a standard of the type of property that we'll accept. And if it means that we say no or we don't have deal flow for a little while, then that's important to us, because the ones that we do present to our investors are the best of the best, the cream of the crop, in our opinion.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what it's going to look like for you to invest in a property. And again, if you guys ever have any questions, you just let us know. We want this to be a transparent process, and don't want anyone to feel stupid or confused. There's never a dumb question, especially not when you're trusting us with your hard-earned cash.
Yeah. Visit our website, GoodGoodInvesting.com. There's a link that's going to take you to a consultation with us, or you can drop us an email. Use that. Sign up for our emails. They're super educational. I do want to start doing some educational videos as well. We're going to be doing that soon. So you'll have lots of content, lots of information, but always we're open to questions.
Yes. And we do. We have some exciting stuff coming out on our website soon. And I'm really stoked for the value that it's going to bring to our listeners. So depending on when you listen to this, go check out our website and see if it's up there. If not, get on a call with us. You have to schedule an actual call with us. Getting on our email list is not enough. We want to make sure that we go by the book, and we make sure that we have a call to establish that relationship that allows you to see our future deals.
Yes. So we're excited to hear from y'all soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Andrea, don't invest good.
Invest twice as good.
Bye.